Hi, Tim Unker here, and in this video, we're going to use Emacs and org mode along with Python to generate a composite function worksheet. Now, when I was a math teacher, one of the things I had to do was help get up our SAT scores. And one of the ways we did that is we focused on certain types of questions. One of those types of questions was a composite function type question. So let's bring up a draw island here, and I'll show you a little bit about what the type of problem that we're going to create is. Okay, so let's say I had a problem where we said if f of x equals 2x plus 3, and g of x equals negative 5x plus 1, what is, let's say, let's say g of f of 2. What is that value? Okay. And my drawing skills are not great, but as you may have noticed. So we'd plug in 2 to here. So we'd have 2 times 2 plus 3. So f of 2 would be 7. And then we take g of 7. And so we'd get negative 5 times 7. So negative 35 plus 1 would be negative 34, right? So we're going to generate these types of problems. Okay. So I'm going to open up Emacs. And what I'll do is installed one. Yes, I've got NeoTree here for a little side panel. I'm going to open up this and go into here, and let's create a file. And let's call this file composite underscore functions underscore YouTube.py. And let's close that. Close the window and just get one window here. Okay, and let's get this a little bit bigger. Okay, so I'm going to start with a class, and let's call this class composite function. And then I'm going to instantiate the class, and I'm going to pass in self. And then I need some things. I need coefficient 1 for f of x, coefficient 2 for g of x. I need constant 1 for f of x and constant 2 for g of x, and I need an initial x value, okay? And what I'm going to say, and let me just make this a little bit smaller so it doesn't wrap there. What I'm going to say is that self.coefficient underscore 1 equals coefficient underscore 1 self dot, if I can spell self right, not coefficient 2 equals coefficient 2 self dot constant 1 equals constant 1 self dot constant 2 equals constant 2, and then self dot x value equals x value. Okay, so now I've got my class. Cool. All right, so now what I want to do is I want to calculate the value of f of x, because we're going to have this in the form g of f of x. Okay, so first we want the value of f of x. Okay, so let's create a function we'll call that fx value, okay? And we're going to pass in the self, and we'll say function fx equals, then let's see, we'll do the self.x value times the coefficient. Actually, well, let's do it in the order that's in. Okay, so self.coefficient underscore 1 times self.x value plus we're going to have constant 1. Okay. And then we're going to return function fx. Okay. That variable, that value. Okay. And we're also going to have a function for the g of x value, which is what we're looking for at the end. We're going to pass in the self, and we're going to say function underscore gx equals, now it's going to be self dot coefficient 2 times self dot fx value, that method, plus constant 2. Okay, because we're passing in constant 2 there. Okay, and so we're outside. We've created our class, our composite function class, and now we want to get some random values for our coefficient 1, our coefficient 2, our constant 1, our constant 2, and our x value. And to do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to import random. Okay. All right, so I'm going to import random, the random module, and I'm going to have a random number list. I'll call that random underscore num underscore list, and that's going to be an open list here. And I want to get some negative values for this. So I'm going to say for x in range, and we're going to start with negative 20 and go up to 20. So I'm going to go actually up to 21 because when you use that, you go up to the number below it. All right. And then I'm going to say, I'm going to repeat a few things. So I don't want 0. So I'm going to start off by saying, whoops, I noticed an error up here. Okay. Caught myself there. So what I'm going to say here is self, or no, not self, just coefficient underscore 1. That's going to equal, random.choice. And then from the random num list. Okay. And then I'm going to go down here and I'm going to say while coef underscore 1 equals 0, coef underscore 1 equals random.choice from the random number list. Okay. And I'm going to repeat this for coefficient 2. Back here, change this to 2, this to 2, this to 2. Okay. And then we're going to go here and repeat this, except now we're going to go for constant underscore 1. That didn't work quite the way I wanted it to. I was trying to be efficient. Oh well. And okay, so we've got that for constant 1. Okay, and now I'm going to also do that for constant 2. Okay, and then finally, we also want to do this for the x value. That didn't quite work. Okay, and just okay. So we want this for the x value. Not okay. So that's going to make sure that none of these are equal to 0. Okay. All right. So we've got all of those values, but what I really need to do is loop these in a problem loop. Okay. So what I need to do is say for problem in range, and let's say we want to do 100 problems. So we'll go from 1 to actually 101 because we go 1 less. And now we got to make sure that our indenting is proper here, or is correct. So we're just going to indent over that block of code. And so we've got our variables coming up. The other thing we need to create before we create this for problem loop is we have to create some files to write it to. Okay, so I'm going to say composite function YT file equals, and then we're going to open, and we're going to have a file called composite underscore function underscore YT underscore file .org. Okay, because we're using Emacs, we're going to take advantage of the .org functionality. I'm going to copy this line and just put right after here. Actually, let's put it right here, underscore solution, and then just also here, underscore solution. Okay, so we've got the two files there that we've created for the loop. Okay, and so now we can start to write to those files. Okay, so I'm going to break out of this while loop here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my composite underscore function YT file, and I'm going to write something to it. Okay, so what I'm going to write is, well, we're going to have to use an F string, and I'm going to say if, let's say if f of x equals, now we're going to pass in coefficient underscore 1 times x, and then let's go down to the next line here. So we'll keep our lines from getting too long. And then we're going to have plus, and then coefficient underscore 2. Oh no, constant underscore 1. Okay. And g of x equals, and then we're going to do coefficient underscore 2 times x plus constant underscore 2, then a comma, what is, and let's go down to the next line, g of f of x. Okay, and we'll close that out, close out that. Okay, so we're writing out the problem, and before we do that, we actually should go up above, and what I'm going to do is do this composite function YT file. We're going to write now, we're going to write just a string here with 2 dots here and a couple spaces, and then maybe a couple escapes to go down and create a new line. That's how you create a new, move it down when you're writing to a file in Python. Do /n/n. Each of those /n's will break it down to the next line. And we also want to go to here and go and insert /n/n. Now the 2 stars in org mode is the second level heading, and what we're going to do is we're going to look at the documentation. I'll take a little look up at it, and we're going to do use like Latex header and get the fancy view, and that should number it for us. Okay, but more about that in a moment. So we'll do composite function YT file, and we're going to write, and now just do three dashes like that, so that in org mode and in Markdown, that just kind of creates a little line there. Okay, so we'll do a /n/n to create some spacing. So formatting for the document, so that moves it down 2 lines. Okay. All right, we're also going to want to write our solution. Okay, so we're going to do the composite underscore function YT solution file, and we're going to write, now we're also going to do some numbering on this. So we're going to do ** and then / n to bring it down. And then we'll take this file again, and we're going to write our solution. So we'll do an F string now, and we'll say solution. And then what we want to do is, actually, let's go down to the next line here, just to keep the formatting good. So we're going to do the GX value method, but taking a look at this, we haven't actually created a new object. So we have to do that. After we go through and create all our variables, we do have to create a new object. So we're going to say new underscore problem. That's going to equal our composite function when we pass in coefficient 1, coefficient 2, constant 1, constant 2, and our x value. Okay. All right. So that's going to be our new problem. So we're going to use that here. We're going to go down here and we're going to pass in our new underscore problem and use the GX value method. That's what we're bringing back. That's our solution to this. Okay. And then, at the end of this, we want to have some formatting. So we want to have a /n/n, and then we want to do our composite underscore function solution file. And we want to write, again, with the formatting, 3 dashes here, and then /n/n, and that just helps to format the file. Now we're moving out of our method, and let me take a look here. Oh, we've got to move. So this is just, oh, no. We made a mistake here. So I wanted to take the random number list and get a random number list. I don't have to put this in this for loop. So let's move this out. And sorry about that. And let's paste it back here and reformat a little bit. And then what I'm going to do is take the random number list. This is going to give me the random numbers between -20 and 20. And I'm going to append x. Okay. All right. And then I want to take this code and I want to shift it back. Okay. All right. So I shifted that whole block of code back. Indentation in Python is very important. So, okay. So now I'm out of that for loop. So I'm not indented anymore. That's one way to indicate it. And what I'm going to do is now close out those files and composite underscore function YT file. I want to just close that, and I do that by close with, and then since close method, you use 2 parentheses at the end, and we've got to close the other one as well, and we do the same thing. Okay. Now we write the file, we've saved the file. Let's open the terminal and run the file, and we'll see how it's going. Okay. So, all right. So we're going to open up our terminal here, and we are going to run the file. I'll do Python 3, and then the name of the file, which was composite underscore function underscore yt.py. And no, that was not the name of the file. So I lied. The name of the file was composite functions. Okay. Now we'll run it. Okay, it ran. And if we list out, we see that we've created a composite function file. Yeah, we've created, so I did this, I have some other files because I went through this last night, but we have this composite underscore function underscore yt underscore file.org and composite underscore function underscore yt underscore solution file.org. Okay. I'm going to exit out of this. So I'll close out my terminal process, and let's open up this, and let me drag this so I can see the extensions. This is not letting me drag it. I can't resize it anymore. All right. I can hover over it then. Let me find it. Oh, I have to update it to G. There we go. Now we hover. That's the Python. That's the solution. I don't want that yet. I want this one. So it's going to open up that one. Okay, so this is our format. We've got our problems, and we've got these stars indicating these headings. But if we publish it like as is, the formatting is not going to be super great. So what I'm going to do is create a few options at the head of the file. And let me actually get this a little bit larger so you can see it. Okay, so what I'm going to do at the head of the file now is I'm going to create a couple options. So I'm going to do a hashtag and then plus, and then in capital options, and then colon, and then I'll do undercase TOC nil. That means I'm not going to have a table of contents. And then I'm going to do hashtag plus, in capitals author. Okay, and I'm going to put my name. Underscore hashtag plus title. I want to do this in caps. Okay, and the title that I'm going to give it is SAT Composite Function Problems. And we can also do stuff like the date. Okay, and I'm going to just do today's date, which I believe is this. It's the 15th. It's the 15th. Okay, do the date. And then I want to say that I'm going to do latex underscore header. But let me check my documentation here. So let's pull up a browser. And let's do, nope, that's not what I wanted. Okay, let's just search latex header org mode. So we can take a look at the org manual here. And we have latex class options. I want latex underscore header. And then I believe I want, let's say, fancy footer org mode. So let's see, take a look at that. So I'm going to take a look at this Emacs stack exchange file. And yes, here it is. So what I want is I want these two lines. So I'm just going to copy it here. Thank you for this person for answering it. And let's just paste that in. Make it easy on ourselves, all right? Okay, so let's paste that in. Whoops. No, I got to copy it again. Sorry. Okay, so we want those two, and we also want plus, and then latex underscore header, and we're going to use the option for cfoot, and we're going to put then the copyright information, right? So I'm going to do copyright, and then copy, and then Timothy Unkert, and do all rights reserved. Okay, and I'm going to close that. And all right, now I'm going to do Control-C, Control-E, and that's going to bring me up my publishing options. And I'm going to do L for export to LaTeX, and then P as PDF file, so LP. Okay, and it's processing. And we got some errors. Okay, so maybe I did something a little wrong. Let's see what our errors are. Okay. Okay, so open our Linux files, Python math. What errors do we have? Okay, so the footer gave us some weird errors. Okay, so let's take a look at that again. Let's actually delete this file, and we'll see if we can rectify our errors. Did I do /cfoot? No, I did not. Okay, that is my error. All right, so I have to have a slash here. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to save it again. I'll do Control-C, Control-E to bring up my publishing options for my org mode. And I'm going to do then export to LaTeX, LP. Okay. Still got errors. Let's see. Oh, the other thing Now, this may be causing some errors. All right. Yeah. Let's take a look. Let's delete again one more time. Delete it. Okay. So we'll do Control C, Control E for our publishing options, LP. We're still getting errors. Let's take a look at what errors we're getting. Okay. It might not be liking the date. And let's try this. Let's write it. Let's delete it here. And let's try it again. So Control C, Control E, LP. Still producing with errors. And it might not like this /copy either. Okay. Let me undo that. I just want to delete a letter. Okay. Let's delete it again. And Control C, Control E, LP. Okay, that was the problem. The copy was the problem. So actually I can go back and put in my date. It didn't like that /copy. Okay, so, and I had a few other things before that. So let's do 10, 15, 20, 21. Save that file. Let's delete the file over here. All right, and we're just going to delete it. Okay, and we'll do Control C, Control E to get our options, LP to publish, PDF file produced. Okay, let's take a look at our PDF file. It's now produced without any errors. Thanks for bearing with me. Okay, so we got our title, we've got the author, which is me, and we got the date, and then we got our problems numbered. That's what the double star did. It's a second level heading, but with the fancy document here and the fancy plain setting, you get that. Okay, so that's pretty cool. All right, so and then if we go down, we see this is a 15-page PDF. It goes through 100 problems. You'll see that the numbers are generated randomly. And let's go back to the top here. Okay, and so let's take a look at this one. We say if f of x equals negative 8x plus 17 and g of x equals 14x plus 18, what is g of f of x? Okay, so I noticed another error. We have to put the x value in there. Okay, so what I'm going to do is go here and we're going to delete some files. So let's delete this. Let's delete everything that says YouTube except the Python function or the Python file. So this one we don't want to delete. We want to delete this one. We want to delete this one. We want to delete this one. And we want to delete this one. Okay, I'm going to go back here and just do G. G to update. Okay. And yeah, this is the file we want. Okay, let's fix it. One little fix. Okay. All right. So the fix that we're going to have for this file is that when we ask what is g of f of x, we got to ask for the actual value. So we got to put in here the x value. Okay. All right, so now I've saved it. Okay. I'm going to open terminal here and let's clear this out. Let's run the file. Okay, it ran, no errors, good. Okay, let's exit out of this. Okay, and now let's find our org file that was created. Reread from disk, yes. Okay, all right, so I have to go up here. And what I want to do is move here to start, and let's just, okay, let's make it a little bit larger for you. All right, so again, we'll put in the options again. It's good exercise. All right, so we're going to do plus, hashtag plus, and then in capitals, options, and table of contents, nil, and then hashtag plus options, not options, sorry, title. And we'll put the title, which is composite, SAT composite functions. And then hashtag plus, author, that's me. Then hashtag plus the date. Okay, and that's 10/15/21, 2021. Okay, and then let me close this out here for a minute. Then I'm going to take this. I need those. So I need to bring that in. So I'm going to bring that in, and then I'm actually going to just copy this. Not that. Yank that, and then we do /c foot, and then copyright Timothy Unkert, all rights reserved. Close that out. Save our file. Control C, Control E to bring up my publishing options, then LP to publish. And the PDF file is produced. Okay. Now, so we've got our PDF file there, and let's just take a look and open this up. Okay, and we're going to have our file. Take a look at it. Close this stuff out. And so our file now we have the value. Okay, so we can do -9 times -17 plus -4. So -17 times -9 plus -4. That gives me 149. And then if we pass 149 in here, we get -20 times 149 plus 10. So we should get -2970 for our first value. So let's check that on our other file, which should be this one. Okay, solution, we've got none. So we've got an issue there with our solution. Okay, let's go back to our Python file and take a look. Okay, we've got to return function g of x. Okay. We forgot that. Okay, all right. So now, all right, I'm going to go to Dear Ed for a minute. And so I want to get rid of all of these YouTube ones except the Python one. So I'm going to do delete, 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 delete. Okay, and then X. Yes, I want those out of there. Okay, now let's open up a terminal. Okay, let's run this again. So we ran it. Okay, so now let's go back. Let's exit this terminal process. Let's go back to Dear Ed, and open the let's open this file. Okay, reread from disk. Yes. Okay. All right. So I'm not going to go through the process of adding the headers again, but let's just check to make sure the solution is right. And then you can see, you can publish these and create worksheets. I'll put the worksheets down in the description in a moment. So we're going to have 16. So -7 times 16 plus 5. So that's -107. And then we do -6 times -107 plus -11. Right. So -6 times -107 plus -11. Okay, so we should get 631 for that solution. Let's check. Okay. And we get 631. Okay, so now to finish this off, I have to get ready for work, but to finish this off, what we would do is I would add those headers again. I would get rid of the table of contents. I would go through the publishing process again, and I'm going to publish those later today. I'll put a link in the description below. I hope you enjoyed this video despite a few of my goof ups. That's part of the process of coding. You have to go through and debug what you've done wrong and go through the process. Maybe you learned something from it. If you did like this video, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications. It really does help the channel grow. Another way you can support the channel that's free is I'll leave a link to my GitHub profile in the description. You can go there, give me a star on GitHub. That would be helpful. And if you like to support the channel in another way, I'll also leave a link to my Teacher Pay Teachers worksheet in the description. I'll probably sell that for $1. And there's also free stuff there as well. So, but watching the video through the entire video is support enough. I thank you for watching. I really hope to see you in the next one, and see you in the next one, hopefully.